Well, welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and we are coming to you from Texas Distance Learning Association in Galveston, Texas, USA!
And we're talking with Felipe Payan, who is the Distance Education Coordinator and Instructional Design Specialist.
Instructional Design Specialist.
At Galveston College. Felipe, mi amigo.
Oh, here we go. See that? All of a sudden the girl's out.
You are thoroughly involved in distance education. What do you think are some of the most important things that a distance educator should know about designing a course for distance education?
Ooh, hard question.
Ooh, wow. Well, it's important to understand what the faculty wants in their course, and that is talking with faculty and then working closely with faculty to design their course. I like to see a course with motion graphics and visuals, and a course that meets the needs of students so it'll contribute to student success.
I love the relationship that you're talking about between the instructional designer and the faculty member. I really like how the strength of the relationship helps guide and support the instructional design process. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's as important as what I just heard you saying?
Yeah. It's very important to have a relationship with the faculty and understand where they're coming from. Faculty comes from a lot of different backgrounds and viewpoints regarding online education, so it's good to just introduce them and nudge them into it. I don't believe you should force them.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. But it's crucial. You can't just go on your own and design the course without them having their input. It is their class. It is their class. Yeah.
So, do you go step by step, slowly into the distance learning process, like a little bit of a hybrid course to get their feet wet, so to speak?
Exactly.
And then perhaps talking a little bit later once they're comfortable at the first step, a second step towards instructional design, towards a totally online course, or what type of environment? Is that kind of the process?
Yeah. It's a lot of hand-holding.
He's so great about relationships and building step by step instead of all of a sudden a wave washes over the faculty members like a lot do. So, very interesting philosophy.
You like that?
I do like that,
good.
yeah.
You
poor man.
How do you create those
Good
courses?
sport.
How do you create those courses? Do you use a course management system, or is it like freestyle?
We do use a course management system. We use Angel. We use that, but in addition to that, I use all the other tools that are available to us. I use Camtasia Studio 8, use Photoshop, CS6. So I use a lot of graphics as well, in addition to the other film editing software you mentioned. I haven't used Premiere yet, but we got Final Cut Pro, I mentioned that to you. So we use other software programs to enhance the classroom. Yeah.
So you use Angel to carry the course.
Exactly.
And then you use a lot of videos.
Exactly. Following your advice, Dr. Smith, el profesor Dr. Smith, el máximo del videógrafo, con su asistente.
El mero profesor.
En la Universidad de Houston, Clear Lake, y su asistente
I don't know what you're saying, but I hope it's nice.
Richard Smith and his colleague Carolina both at University of Clear Lake. You guys are great guides. I do view your videos, and I've learned a lot. I haven't even had to read a book. Just listening to both of you is just enough.
Those books are all
forget it, but you got a lot of great ideas that I've been implementing, and it's taught me to review and relook. Hey, what am I doing with faculty?
What do you think the students look for in a course, in an online course? Do you have any reactions from the students at your institution?
When I work with students, I think they're looking for a lot of graphics and visuals. They're moving away from text. They don't want to read lengthy pieces of text. They just want to get to it in a couple seconds, and then visuals and graphics will point them in that direction. That's it. But they don't want to read.
Don't want to read. Now this seems to me a problem. If students in your institution, in our institution, in other institutions,
anywhere. It's not just one institution versus another.
They don't seem to want to read, and to me, that's where the most amount of information can be gotten from readable sources.
Well, is it the initial framework of information, understanding what it is we're talking about concerning the subject matter, and then delving into the text? Or is it just, I don't want to read the text at all? There are so many different components to it. because at least for myself, I want to see the big picture. And if a conceptual overview through a graphic means or through a video explanation can give me an idea of what we're talking about, so when I start reading through the information, it makes more sense to me, then that would be a viable alternative to no text.
Right. Right, and that's how it should be, you know. Yeah, using visuals and graphics as a means of delivering and transmitting this information in the more efficient manner. I mean, yeah, I enjoy reading myself. We probably grew up reading a lot of books, but the student of today is just compressed for time. If we listened here to the conference, wow, the demographics have changed radically. So yeah, students want to come in and get that information and as fast as possible. And reading just seems to be just too long, too lengthy and tedious process.
So
now that's interesting.
So reading is, and I guess associated writing is going to go down the drain.
I don't know. I don't want to go that.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that to be true.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far yet.
I don't
But
know.
it depends on the level of learner that we're speaking of. Are we speaking of people who maybe in their high school careers did not have an opportunity to learn how to learn? And maybe that process is being learned at the freshman level type courses within the college environment. That's a serious cognitive load concern, trying to learn how to learn while also learning the subject matter and trying to frame everything appropriately. Every little baby step takes time.
Right.
So perhaps, I haven't looked at any of the research, I haven't looked at any of the data at all, so I don't know if that could potentially be the truth or not, but it's an argument to be made for maybe that's a consideration.
Or an article to be written.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Another article.
Oh, good data,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, like I said, today's student is very different, and they got to come to school, and then learn to learn, and then they got to keep that attitude through the rest of their life and career.
Absolutely, that's what the world's about these days.
That's what it is. It's the attitude.
Lifelong learning.
You want to do something meaningful. You want to learn. You have to have the attitude, because if you don't have the proper attitude, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
I am curious, as we're talking about the students, how have you seen your faculty shift concerning not only the type of learning environment, whether it's face-to-face or hybrid type environment or totally online, but how have you seen their attitudes towards the students and the subject matter? How do they meld together? How have you seen that shift? Or has that shifted?
Yeah, good question. Sometimes I see, I see a lot of instructors, they see this new online learning system to deliver knowledge to students. Has it shifted? I don't know. That's a good question. I have to do research that some more and talk to faculty.
Well, it sounds like you have such a strong relationship with the faculty. No doubt you're delving into all the different concerns the faculty may have with them, and it sounds like you have awesome faculty.
You know what it sounds like to me?
Uh-oh.
The topic of another show. Because we have reached our time limit for this edition of Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
I'm Caroline Crawford.
We've been talking with Felipe Payan, and we are Technology and Education Today, a production of the Instructional Design and Technology program of the University of Houston, Clear Lake.